Oh, hey, how you doing? Welcome to another riveting edition of The Ghost and the Goat. I'm your host, Buddy Thayer, paranormal investigator, welcoming you to join us here on another adventure. Take me by the hand as we skip together into the paranormal fields. But first, join me as we walk through some of the sporting fields. Buddy, that's a weird concept. Sports and the paranormal. Yes, it is. When the show was first derived, my co-host at the time was a big sports guy, so we did sports one half of the show, uh, paranormal the other half of the show. Sometimes you could interweave sports and the paranormal. Sometimes you can't. Things that are happening. Well, I'll get into that in just a minute. So the show has evolved into more of a paranormal show, as you may or may not know if you watch the show regularly, weekly. Appreciate that. And I talk about my other show, The Beer Show, the Three Dudes Brews, which you can catch Thursday night live at 7 p.m. But anyway, just saying. And I talk a little bit about sports in the beginning. We pepper in a little bit of sports, more so in the football season than anything. But we have the baseball season starting this weekend. I'm a Red Sox fan. Speaking of paranormal and sports, the curse of the Bambino for many years. It grew up under its awful shadow. And then I flip the switch. And I bring on my co-host Jai, and together we walk with you into a very paranormal world, bringing you either like a little bit of the ghost stuff, a lot of the ghost stuff because I'm a ghost guy, as you can see by my title. UFOs, big feet, pudwudgies, chupacabra. I've never really done a show on chupacabra, in all honesty, but I welcome all and any to come on and talk about it. Let's explore this. While I'm not 100% believer on Bigfoot, change my mind. Please, let's have a conversation. So that's what the show is all about. If you tuned in for anything else, I don't know, you might see me drink this beautiful beer. This is a Guinness. It's left over from last week, St. Patty's Day. If you haven't had a Guinness, it's the perfect example of a stout. It's dark. It's malty. It's delicious. It's very plain Jane, though, as far as beer goes. I think, but it's the classic style. I guess I've made fun of it. I've said it's a lesser beer, but it's the OG of stouts, made right there in Ireland and in West Baltimore, which I'll never go to. Anyway, I'm gonna go to Dublin. Anyway, nothing against West Baltimore, but Dublin. Anyway, I digress. So in the sporting world, like I said, like I've said in weeks past, my beloved Dolphins have absolutely set fire to everything. We fired our head coach. We fired our GM. We brought in new guys. They finally got rid of Tua Tagovailoa concussions, and they got rid of Tyreek Hill. They unfortunately dumped off Waddle last week, but they got a lot of really good draft picks. They dumped off a whole shit ton of cap money, and maybe they can rebuild into something. I'm not going to talk much about football. There's been a lot of free agents coming and going to different teams. There'll be more on that obviously later in the year. This week we start Major League Baseball. Not such a marathon, not such a sprint of a season like the NFL, but more of a marathon of a season. And because I don't have anything tremendously prepared, I'm going to read to you some of the sporting news. Is ESPN. Their top. Well, they have everybody ranked. So in the first tier is called. Well, I'm not going to tell you what the first tier. I don't know if that's the name of the first tier, but it says Tier 1, the reigning champs, stand alone. The stupid Dodgers, their projected record this coming year is 102-60. They got them going over 100 wins, 98% odds to be in the playoffs. The thing we'll be talking about most of the season is their pursuit of a three-peat and what it means for the future of Major League Baseball. The Dodgers could become the first team to win back-to-back-to-back. Puke in my mouth. The next New York Yankees. That's one of the reasons I don't like the Yankees so much, is because they win so many goddamn championships. And their fans are so arrogant about it. Anyway, and I digress. And the Yankees. And most likely 2026 award winner is going to be Shohei Ohtani. They're saying he's going to be NL Cy Young. Yes, of course, Ohtani is the NL MVP favorite. You don't need Buddy to tell you that. He's a good pitcher. He's a good hitter. He's definitely a difference maker. Hopefully, in baseball, this generation, as baseball kind of falls off with the recent generation of youth. Although some youth are really embracing it, but in other formats like softball or little league or whatever. Baseball is still a great sport. I mean, Otani's a great athlete. Don't get me wrong, but oh damn, he's playing for the wrong team. Anyway, the one realistic bold prediction is after winning 100 games in 2019, 2021, 22, finishing with 111 wins, the second most in the NL history. In 2023, they would have cruised past 100 wins. Oh my god, this is like nauseating to read. I'm not going to read this. So yeah, the main pick is going to be the stupid Dodgers. They're going to three-peat. The second pick here, biggest threats to LA's throne in Tier 2, the Seattle Mariners, projected to go 90 and 72. The Mariners continued their quest to finally reach the World Series. They almost got their last season, and this year's team could be even better. The Mariners lost Jorge Polanco in free agency, but acquired all-star utility man Brendan Donovan, and will have first baseman Josh Naylor. He was a 2025 trade deadline acquisition for the entire season. They have Cal Riley, who is I think he's their catcher. He's an amazing hitter, by the way. He won the home run derby last year. Not that that means anything, but I mean, he had like a ton of home runs last year by the end of the season. Gave a lot of points, a lot of ribbies to Seattle. Most likely award winner for them will be Julio Rodriguez, the MVP from the AL. Rodriguez enjoyed his best season a year ago, where he got into 160. He played in 160 games and hasn't quite put it all together yet. He's 25, young, prime of his career. He's going to have like 35 home runs, 35 steals. That's what they're saying here on the ESPN. It's going to be a real special season there for the Mariners. If J-Rod, I hate that reference, it would be hardly a surprise if they didn't. Screw the Mariners. The third team, of course, diarrhea in my mouth, the New York Yankees, projected to go 89 and 73. They have a 70% chance of getting in the playoffs. The thing we'll be talking most about this season, they project, is Jarrett Cole's return, who was out the entirety of last season, which was lovely for me as a Red Sox fan. On opening day, the Yankees will look nearly identical to their 94-win team last year. And Cole, however, could raise the group ceiling when he returns from Tommy John surgery. He was the 2023 Cy Young Award winner. He's expected to rejoin the club in June, and he'll immediately regain his ace level form. He's 35 years old, but he looked like dynamite in spring training. He's scary. He's in the rotation alongside Max Fried, another dominating. It's just a scary name to think about. Like if you're facing pitchers in a game, Max Fried and Jarrett Cole. It's God, the Yankees scared me a little bit. Aaron Judge, also the top favorite to win the AL MVP. He was the man was a machine last year. He had a ton of home runs. Played in a ton of games despite his injury of his elbow. If he was to stay healthy the whole year, he could probably rival the I would say the great, but he used steroids, Barry Bonds in home runs, and rival even Shohei Ohtani this season for the best player. The Yankees are scary. As much as I don't like the New York Yankees, it's a long-standing FU relationship. It's been going on most of my life. It heated up mostly around 2003. We'll say it heated up pretty hard, and but I've hated the Yankees my whole life, as I loved the Red Sox my whole life, and hope that number 3 spot is wrong. And number 4 coming in as projected at 88 and 74, 66% playoff chance. The Toronto Blue Jays. they seemed like they were going in all the right directions. Um, then they were like, oh no, we're gonna fail with Vladdy Guerrero Jr. And then no, we ended up resigning him. And then they resigned Boba, and these guys are gonna have a great epic season again. And they the Blue Jays were a great story in 2025. Blah 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 blah. Coming within one out of toppling the mighty Dodgers in the World Series. Yet, alas, they choked at the end. No expectations are high after another eventful season. The Blue Jays signed starters Dylan Cease and Cody Ponce, reliever Tyler Rogers, and third baseman Kazuma Okamoto, and brought back Max Scherzer, who's another killer on the mound. Again, another team in the AL East with my beloved Red Sox, who are a little bit scary. I'm going to race this right along. The Phillies at 5 are projected 90 and 72. They've been in the playoffs the last several years. They're pretty dominant. The New York Mets go out and they sign everybody. They're at 6. They just about missed the playoffs last year. They spent a shit ton of money in free agency. They spent even more this year. I hope the Mets fall straight on their faces, face first, into the pavement, and eat like dirty like bird shit on the way down. The Chicago Cubs, which I always root for on the side, are projected at 89 and 73, 68% chance to be in the playoffs. I don't have anything to say about the Cubs. The Tigers are in 8. I'm just gonna skip it. My beloved Red Sox. Here we go. Number 9 projected. Holy shit, 87 and 75. That wouldn't be that bad. 60% chance of making the playoffs. Roman Anthony is coming in hot and fast, and he looked like he was a dominant machine in the World Baseball Classic. Reminded everybody of the unique talent. Just 21 years old. He hit the go-ahead home run off with Gregory Soto in the semifinals against the Dominican Republic. It's just impressive because of what he does on the bag, as well as what he's doing in the field. He's an outfielder, of course, and yeah, I'm excited. The Sox signed him long term. He's 22 years old. Another happy piece of the Boston Red Sox is Garrett Crochet, the AL Cy Young winner from last year, or for this year. I don't. No, he didn't. He just missed it last year. I'm sorry. He should have won it last year. He had a Cy Young award-winning series with 18 and 5, 2.59 ERA, 255 strikeouts. I'm hoping he does it this year. Bold prediction of this year: the last time the Red Sox had the lowest rotation ERA in the American League was 2002, during the peak of Pedro Martinez days. My man, Pedro, I love Pedro, and Derek Lowe, who was amazing, and Wakefield, and they're happy to throw on the with Crochet on the leading with the new look in the rotation. They bring in Ranger Suarez, Sonny Gray, John Ottavino, and I want to say there's another cat in that lineup, and I'm just getting excited. So that's and then to cap off the top 10, you got the stupid Braves, who used to be a Boston team, but now they're playing in Atlanta. There's probably too many teams in Boston at the time. The Brewers coming in at 11. And at the bottom, I'm going to skew all the way down to the bottom here. The last 2 teams in the power rankings of the rankings of the MLB. At number 30, no big surprise to anyone, the Colorado Rockies. They sucked last year. They're projected at 54 and 108. They have a 0.01 chance of the playoffs. They're just terrible, and they're going to continue being terrible this year. I went and saw a game last year. It was like 11-4 at Fenway, and the guy took a selfie with me. It was great. And the second worst team in the MLB is predicted to be the Washington Nationals, straight out of DC. Sucking ass, projected at 58 and 104. They also have like a 0 point whatever chance of making the playoffs. Third worst is Chicago White Sox, who suck. The Angels, excuse my French, they have my burpage. St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami Marlins at 25. So those are your top 10 and your worst 5 in the MLB. One can only tell, boys and girls. Like I said, it's not a race. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. It's a very long season. It goes from spring, summer to fall. It's another long season. Basketball. My beloved Celtics are in second place. Well, we lost the other night. I watched them lose a terrible game. They still managed to pull off enough wins where I think we're going to make the playoffs, and hopefully they go pretty far. So with that said, I'm not skipping. With that said, I'm going to flip the switch. It's 8:21. I'm going to bring in my guest, paranormal medium of sorts. She's a I don't know if she's a medium. She's a empath, maybe. She's a paranormal experiencer. Please welcome to the show. Always nice to see you. Jai, how you doing, Jai? How you doing tonight, lady?
Hi, nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too, yeah. How's things? Are you East Coast? Are you in the New Bedford?
Not yet.
No.
Easter Day is when I'm traveling.
Oh, Easter Day. That's right around the corner. That's like
Yeah,
next week, right?
it is.
Okay, awesome. Well, safe travels and all that good stuff.
Thank
How's
you.
things out there in Ohio? Is the weather warmer at all yet, or?
Yeah, it was 81 the other day,
Oh,
but then
God
today
damn,
it's like
81.
51. Yeah, today's
81.
like 51.
Oh, boy, it was 51. It was like 39 here today. That's great though. Good for you. That's I am so excited about the warm weather coming and the idea of possibly wearing shorts. And I've already
Right.
gone Crocs, no socks. I've already started that trend. I'm very excited. I'm looking for our guests. Thing is, I talk aimlessly here. So please, if you have anything to say, Jai, now would be the time to say it. Anything you'd like to say?
I'd like to say that I'm glad spring has come.
Oh man, yeah,
And
for sure.
like you said, I can't wait till the weather gets warm either. I want to go to the beach.
The beach. Oh my God, I miss the beach so much. I can't wait
I
for the
know.
beach. Can't wait for the
I
beach.
And all I do at the beach, I just sit there and roll up.
Put my feet in the sand and sit and work on my tan. Sometimes I go in the water,
Right.
but not too far because I'm afraid Jaws will get me. And
Yeah, I don't go in the water.
no, not past my waist. And I just enjoy the atmosphere and the smells and the sounds, and
Yes,
yeah, I love it. I love it.
it's great.
I'm a summer baby, so I always had my childhood birthday parties in the backyard when it was sunny and nice. Um, not those poor kids that had to go to Chuck E. Cheese or whatever. Anyway, I'm
Right,
sorry.
that's
Total
me.
disclaimer: I don't feel bad for you if you had to go to Chuck E. Cheese. They have great pizza, and they have served beer, which is awesome. Okay,
Right, they
I
do.
digress. I digress when beer is brought up as a topic. Tonight's guest joining us this evening. He's a paranormal investigator. He founded in 2020. He founded Bump in the Night Society as a paranormal investigator. He's a paranormal investigator, speaker, much better than I am, I'm sure. Documentarian, podcast host, and event organizer. He's featured on local television, radio, and newspapers. The team and him explore haunted locations across Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Ohio. There you go. New York
Mhm.
and Indiana, in pursuit of real paranormal experiences. Please welcome to the show, Sean Bowman. Sean, how you doing, dude?
Hi, Sean.
We can't hear you, Sean. Can't hear you, dude. Hello? Oh, I can just about hear you, dude. You're very faint.
You hear me now?
Yeah, much better, dude.
Yes.
Much better. Welcome to the show, Sean. So, Sean, where you joining us from? You're out
Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. Oh,
Yeah.
home of the Steelers. Are you a Steelers fan, Sean?
Yeah, for sure. I got
Oh,
the
there we
Pirates
go.
in my hat.
Oh, there you go. 2 out of 3 of you guys
Yes.
tonight. There you go. Any
Yes.
hopes? Any hopes for your Steelers next year? I mean, you guys pick up random parts from all of the NFL and kind of make it work. What do you
I
think's
think
gonna?
we'll make the playoffs at least. I think.
Yeah.
I say
Oh,
Super Bowl.
oh God. Aaron Rodgers is gone, or is he coming back? What's
I
your
think he'll be back.
Yeah, not bad. He did okay in Pittsburgh. Um. Anyway, paranormal investigator, documentarian, public speaker, podcaster, Bumping the Night Society, which has been a social media presence for a very long time. What came first, Sean? And how did it come first? And how did you know?
Well, before Bumping the Night Society, I was part of a group called Celestial Oddities Paraseekers, which are still around too.
Mhm.
Me and my one buddy, like, I used to do music with the guy, and that's how like I knew him, and he wanted to start a group up, and then we started doing stuff together.
Cool.
And then we kind of separated ourselves and started Bumping the Night Society in 2020.
Yep. What brought you into the paranormal in the first place?
Well, I mean, my first experience is when I was a kid,
Mhm.
probably like 4 or 5 years old or something. But I didn't really get involved with
Right.
stuff until like probably actually after my parents passed. If my dad died in 2011, my mom died in 2018, and that's when I started getting more involved, I guess.
Sorry.
Oh, condolences, man. Was it like you feel like it was like the spirit of your parents that might have like?
Well, yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, I definitely had a couple experiences, and I still have a couple experiences occasionally that like involve them, you know.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned having experiences as a child, which I honestly did. You're like, it's probably like all three of us here right now first had experiences as children. Most of the people that I speak to have experiences as children. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that children are so susceptible to and open to the paranormal?
I guess you still have your imagination, and you're more open just to like stuff in general, like you know, because I think even now, like I kind of discredit some stuff, or I'm like, oh, you know, pretty sure that happened, but then I look back on it, it's like, could it be like a reasonable explanation or something? I guess you don't see that view as when you're a kid as much, you know.
Right, right. We tend to scapegoat and blame like mythological things like ghosts and the boogeyman in the closet, and all that good stuff. Um, yeah. So so you investigate in all these states. What would you say is your favorite location where you've been to investigate and why?
Hard to pick just one. Some of my favorites, I guess, Monroe House in Indiana. Always had a lot of activity there. Another one, which is a actually small place, but the Octagon House in Circleville, Ohio. Basically, you just stay at the bottom of the staircase, which is a spiral staircase that goes through the house, and like
Cool.
I've like seen and heard so many things at that place, and it's just a small location, but it's very active.
Mm-hmm. That's cool. We're in Pennsylvania. I have one place in the middle of my head that I'm imagining you're gonna say, but I'm gonna let you say it anyway.
Probably Hillview Manor, probably.
What's that?
Hillview Manor is the one that's probably closest to Pittsburgh.
Actually, no. I was thinking Gettysburg comes right to mind
Okay.
immediately. But have you been to Gettysburg or?
Yeah, I've done the Battlefield Bash a few times. Like they do that every summer.
That's a good time. Have you investigated out there in Gettysburg?
Kind of like a girl that I was dating back in the day. We stayed at the Farnsworth Inn.
Oh, cool.
And we were actually the only ones there at the time too. And we stayed in Jeremy's room, which is the kid that got shot and everything there.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't have nothing too crazy happen. The only thing that really happened is in the middle of the night, one night, the music box in the room started playing. It was like 3 a.m. It just started randomly playing. But other than that, nothing crazy really happened at Farnsworth.
Any explanation as to why you think the music box started playing on its own, or?
Not really, but I mean, they do keep like logs in the rooms and that, and like that was one of the common things that happened, you know.
Oh, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And I mean, like I've been to Sac. What's that?
What was your scariest experience?
In general?
Yes.
Probably I seen a possession at Bel Air House in Ohio.
Okay.
Describe that for me. What's that? I'm on the fence about that, so I'm not necessarily sure what to believe. So
well, like we were there for a full weekend, and they say like I've been to Bel Air House so many times over the years now, but this was like one of the first. I think it might have actually been the first time I was there. And they used to go by the Bel Air Demon House. Like now, I think she kind of went away from that as much because she doesn't want the negative stigmatism of it.
Right.
But yeah, we were there for 2 nights. First night didn't seem like a lot really happened, and they say that about that property in general. Like they think, like the house kind of feels you out, and the second night's when it messes with you more, I guess. But when we were there that first time, like me and this other dude, which his real name is James, but his nickname was Eddie, which kind of has to do with the house because James was one of the spirits and Edwin was another spirit. So it's kind of weird that it like attached itself to him. But first night, me and him were talking. We're like, yeah, we don't think this place is really haunted. Like nothing really happened. And he was using like a pendulum like the next day. And he was like, saying to like, come into me and use my energy and all kinds of shit that you're not supposed to be saying.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know, that night, like we were doing an Estes in the middle of the room. And my one buddy, the one I told you was from Celestial Oddities, he was doing it. And there was like a couch over here and another couch on the side, like chairs on that side. I'm sitting on this couch. Eddie was behind the dude doing the Estes. And like he just started crying all of a sudden. And we're like, like what's wrong or whatever, And like he wouldn't answer us. He started like humming, like just like making like weird like music, like humming, like I don't know what the hell he was trying to hum, but he was doing something. And eventually me and April, who was part of the group too, we took him outside. We're holding his hands outside. He's not responding to us. He started laughing because we started blessing him with holy water. And then we brought him back in. They were saging him too. We brought him back in. The one dude who was doing the Estes, he knows all stuff like ceremonial magic and stuff about angels and demons and all that. I'm not saying I know about that stuff, but he does. And we did like kind of like a seance to try to get it out of him, And you hear like, well, you could just look around the table and you could tell everybody was like scared, because we never seen nothing like this before. But like the candles started flickering, the one in the middle was like went out. We heard get out. Me and April were like behind him. We heard get out come from him. And then he kept saying, like, he started talking. He was like, it's not a little girl, because that's, I guess, part of the rumor. Emily Davis is supposed to be like the spirit there, and they claim it's a little girl, which is actually the same room I was staying in, was Emily Davis's room. So it's kind of funny because, like, at night, like, they say she appears in the closet, and I keep looking in the closet. Like, I didn't sleep very well that night.
Yeah.
But anyway, he keeps saying it's not a little girl, and he's like, it's coming down the hallways, and it's walking on the ceiling, and we don't see this shit. This is just what he's saying.
Right.
But eventually, like, everything calmed down. And my wife at the time, she didn't come with us because she wouldn't do anything like anything demon. She wouldn't do anything with demons. So like I called her to go use the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, like I just want to go use the bathroom. Kind of freaked out. I'm just gonna talk to you the whole time I'm using the bathroom. But like nothing ended up really happening after that. But it was weird because like the guy after he left, like he left the next day. And when he went back, like he changed his profile picture to like his eyes all blacked out and everything, which I thought was kind of weird too. And
that's weird, yeah.
That's the whole situation. And the thing is too, is I've been back there since. And I don't know if you guys know who Christopher Jansen is. He's a psychic. He does a lot of FCI stuff and stuff like that. Like I'm friends with him. He's come with stuff with us before. We did last Christmas, we had like a Christmas party there. And the day or two after that, he sent me a picture, and his eyes are blacked out in the picture. Like he thought something was like in him too. So,
what was it? Was it like a phenomena, or was it something that they were doing?
I'm not 100% sure. The guy that I was part of the group with, he's involved in the occult, and like I know he'll try to like summon stuff and stuff like that, but I'm not into that type of stuff. But
so, all right, so
it could have been brought on by something.
I have my own opinions, obviously, because I'm an investigator. But what are your thoughts? Is that the same, like summoning demons or summoning spirits? Is that the same as like we do an EVP session, or we ask for a specific spirit, or we ask for any spirit who wants to come forward and talk to any of us right now? When you're in an investigation, how is that different from inviting a negative entity and to involve to go to engage with? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not involved with that type of stuff, but like, like ceremonial magic and stuff, and there's, like bloodletting or stuff like that, or stuff that's more darker than I was raised Catholic. I believe in God. Like I don't mess with that kind of stuff. But I definitely think some of that stuff can ramp stuff up and make stuff happen for sure.
All right, but like I'm saying, like if you're in a haunted location, you're asking for a spirit to come forward and speak to you. What separates that from being like maybe like a D word coming through and like and
Well,
talking to
yeah,
you?
I mean, like I said, there's a lot of that history there, but I honestly don't think I've ever ran into a demon like in any of the
Right?
places I've been at.
You think that it's very rare, and people maybe assign the D word or any other negative sensation grabbing word and tag it as for more views on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it is just like, if you're a bad person in life, you're a bad person in death. I think it's just bad people that are
Right.
communicating.
Okay. So they can be like an asshole ghost. They could be
Right.
like just an asshole. Just somebody who like pushes you down a flight of stairs or like scratches you, and it's not necessarily an unborn creature. It could just be an asshole, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Can you speak one more time,
Yeah.
Sean? Oh, all right. Yeah. I thought I didn't hear everything. So yeah. I've preached this fact for many years. And people are always like people always want to say the D word because it's sensational grabbing, but I don't know. I feel like there's far less interactions with this, if any. Honestly, maybe I'm just ignorant. Maybe I'm just I don't know. I just don't. I'm like I don't want to say show me because I really don't want to see. Because the last time I did say that I did see it was I was on an investigation and I was with two mediums. And I had done the investigation. I've done we got disembodied voices. We got stuff coming through like white noise. We got like some like overpowering stuff. Mediums came in a few times. Things calmed down, and then things would pick up again. And like, oh, we didn't go in the basement. So like, we go back. We go in the basement. One of them got sick. She sat down on the stairs. Like, I don't know. I think I'm like nauseous. I'm gonna be sick. We're like, oh, it's fine. Just like it's in your head. Like, don't think anything. Like, let's go. Let's just go down here. Blah blah blah. I'm like, that's a hell of a thing to say to a medium. It's just in your head. We go down. We go in this one room in the basement, and they swear up and down there's demons. It's like these evil creatures. Da, 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 da. They're going on and on and on, describing them. I'm like, all right, that's what you did. They, they're using the sage and stuff, and then walking around the room and they're describing it. I'm like, okay, and I'm saying in my head, I'm like, if there's something like that here, show me, do something. I want to see something. I want evidence. I want proof. And within like seconds of me thinking that thought, one of the same medium who got sick was like, oh, and it's like, what's wrong? She's like, I get this burning on my back, and she lifts up her shirt, and it was like, it looked like three red scratches going down her back, and it was very
Mm.
in the moment. And it was like, holy shit! Let's go upstairs and explain to this woman that what she has going on is probably a little bit more than I'm not ordained. Well, I am ordained now, but just to marry people. I'm not into that whole demonology thing. And I called the demonologist from around here, James Anito, and he came down with his people. They did the whole ceremony and everything. It was very Catholic based. It almost reminded me of being an altar boy in a Catholic mass like 35 years ago. I don't know. I passed it on to them after that, and she didn't. She had like a whole lot of. This woman had a lot of religious artifacts in her house, so she'd have like these experiences that she couldn't explain that scared the shit out of her, and she would like buy a lot of Christian artifacts, and then when that wouldn't work, she'd like switch to Judaism, then Islam, and then she looked with the island religion, and it's like Santeria and like voodoo and stuff that has spiritualism as a part of it. Do you feel like that this could be like almost opening a doorway, Sean, to having some of these unnecessary experiences?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think if you like delve into this field in general, like you're definitely opening your stuff to other things and stuff. Like, I mean, I know I haven't been going like as heavy as I was for years. I've been actually taking a step back for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
when I was in it deep or whatever, like I know like at the time I was a janitor at a school and I'd be walking around by myself and I'd have little stuff happen. Like I'd have like a locker door close, like,
oh
right
yeah,
in front of me, and I'd be the only one in the school. Or I'd have like a picture that would fall off the wall or something just like random just like something trying to get your attention.
Random weirdness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Random things that would just happen that you couldn't possibly explain.
I
So
do feel like, if you're looking into it, then they're kind of looking back at you like they're going to try to get your attention,
Yeah, for sure. Jay, I'm going to throw it at you. Go ahead. What do you got?
I was just trying to think of a question.
Okay.
Um, let me ask you this: has your family experienced it as well,
Oh, good one.
or
Yeah.
was it more just aimed at you?
When I was a kid, you mean, or
Yes,
currently?
the
As a kid?
hauntings as a kid.
Well, the thing that happened, the story that happened with me and my brother, I was probably 4 or 5 years old at the time. My brother's 6 years older than me. So he was, like I was a little kid, but he remembers it and everything. And
Hmm.
we were building with mini bricks in the dining room. And like it goes like dining room, living room. There was a little cubby like where the hall and the basement stairs were right there. And we saw a guy in a trench coat standing like right in the hallway in front of that door.
Wow.
And we went and told my dad. My dad looked through the whole house. He didn't see anything. And he's not like involved in paranormal, and he still remembers it to this day. Like it stuck with him. And there's a couple other weird things that happened at that house, and it was nothing like how it is on TV. Like it was maybe I lived there for 30 years, and maybe 5 things happened in 30 years.
Right.
But I also wasn't
Oh,
looking for
that's
anything
good.
either.
Right.
But like one of the things, I went to a psychic when I was probably, I don't know, early 20s, late teens, something like that. And they said something was in that basement.
Yeah.
And another weird thing they kind of said too was my spirit guides were Margaret and John, which are both my parents' middle names. So it's kind of weird that they like hit on that too.
Wow.
But there was other couple little things that happened here and there, like, and it could be like, when you wake up and you see stuff, but there was like times I'd wake up and I'd see like a family at the end of my bed. I'd hear stuff up in the attic when, there shouldn't be anybody up in the attic. No one's in the house. Seeing like shadows walk by the doorway, stuff like that.
Yeah.
One of the things actually, which I don't know if it had anything to do with the house. I don't know if it had something to do with my friend's mother who passed, but she used to have, it was a Steelers thing actually. It was a little Steelers dog, and it was a Who Let the Dogs Out. Like he used to play Who Let the Dogs Out. And he's like real religious when it comes to the Steelers. Like he puts out his little trinkets. He got his terrible towels out. He has everything set up.
Yellow towels.
So he has all his stuff out. And the Who Let the Dogs, this is after his mom passed. And his mom was a big Steelers fan too. Who Let the Dogs Out thing started playing. And like there was no batteries in the thing. So I don't know if it had something to do with his mom, it had something to do with the house, but like it was just a weird thing that happened in that house too.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Jay, when you brought up his family members experienced anything in the house, it leads me to this point that I Sean, I don't know if as an investigator, as a podcaster, or just like anybody who was involved with the paranormal might have noticed that if you have experiences, if you see the paranormal, if you see ghosts, or you hear them, or if you get the thoughts in your head, or you know things that there's no freaking way you would know these things. No way you would know these things, and you know them. That tends to run in the family. That other people in the family tend to have this gift, if you will. Do you have that in your family, Sean?
I don't know if gift or not. Like
not gift, but I mean where other people have experience. Like in my family, my mother's family, we all see, hear, experience things, but my father's family is nothing. So
well,
I mean,
some of the other stuff, like with that house, my mom claimed that she saw my one friend middle of the night, like years ago when she still lived there. Wasn't at the house, and that was the same room. After they left, I lived in that room because they moved into a different house, and that was the same room where I saw shadow figures walking by the doorway. So I think she saw something else because there's no way my friend was there at like 3 a.m, just walking around our house.
Yeah, right.
But also, like, I wouldn't like my dad went blind when I was in high school, so like, and I don't even think he'd really like he was diabetic and everything, but I don't think like he was kind of skeptical to begin with. Like I said, the experience with my brother, and then I have 2 kids, but they're both older now. Like my son's 24, my daughter's 22. But one thing is that house, like I lived in it, when they were young, and they were always afraid of that house. They would claim, they would see stuff and this and that, and they've been on a couple haunted locations with me, as adults or late teens and stuff too, like talking about Hillview Manor, down in their basement when we were there. they said that they both saw like shadow figures walking down the hallway. So I guess they see stuff. So yeah, and they still come on some stuff with me occasionally too.
Yeah, that's interesting. So, what kind of investigations do you generally do, Sean? Do you do these places that are reputably haunted, that are like almost like ghost hunting, or do you do people's homes, or you do private residences? What's your forte?
Yeah, I've pretty much done everything. I've done
Yeah.
private houses. I've done public investigations.
What's your preference? What do you?
Um, Probably a private investigation.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the big places. Like I love Trans Allegheny. I love Monsville. Like, you know, those type of things are really cool to me. But it is cool, like occasionally, you know, going in somewhere like some house that you don't know nothing about. Now,
Random house. Yeah, right.
the thing is, though, 90%, probably 99% of the time, it's usually something more mental, I think, with the people that live in the house than actually
Yeah,
something
mental
happening.
or something you can explain, something
Yeah.
that's easily
Right.
for us, or they don't. Not everybody looks at it as like, right. This could be A, B, and C. They just go right to the paranormal immediately as the scapegoat because it's maybe that's all they know. But I honestly, I've had some residential cases where I've had better stuff happen, better experiences than I'll ever hope to have in a place where I got to pay money to go into to investigate. So I always found that fascinating. These like little, not no name places, no way that like anyone else would have investigated ever. You're just like you're looking into people's claims, and honestly, you're giving a lot of them just a peace of mind, whether they're whether you have something or you don't. You're just giving them that like, okay, you're not crazy. Because either one, that we didn't find anything, but we can explain why we think this is happening to you, or two, we are experiencing exactly what you are experiencing, and we have some really cool shit to play for you to back that up. So I always really do like doing um residential cases and places like I'm a big history geek, so like places I can go and help raise money for these places to keep them open and to keep them appreciated is something I always like to do. And old battlefields, of course. We have a lot of King Philip's War battlefields here in Rhode Island and nearby Massachusetts and Connecticut. 400 years ago, I don't know. There's these places where I've investigated where I've never heard of anybody else investigating and have gotten like holy shit evidence. So it's a really cool world, a really cool paranormal world out there. Is I think is what I'm trying to say, and like it never fails to like leave me bored or leave me like oh that was kind of lame. You know, it's always something or maybe nothing, but it just always something that like you can take away from these investigations. So you know it's always a cool experience either way.
I think a good part of it too is just like, you know, just hanging out with a bunch of people and having fun too. Like that's part of the part I love about it too.
Trying different methods and what you do in one place will work awesome doesn't work in another place. So as an investigator, Sean, what are some of the tools of your trade that you bring in, and what are some of the methods that you use for investigating?
I mean, we use a lot of the basic stuff, you know, K2 meters and spirit boxes and, you know, stuff like that. One of the things though that we have done in the past, we've done it quite a few times, and we always get the results, which I don't really see people doing, is like we'll amp the room up with EMF. And probably isn't good for you, honestly, 'cause we'll have headaches and stuff and everything else after.
Of course.
But but yeah, like we'll take like, you know, like those plasma balls, we'll put a bunch of plasma balls, we'll have EMF pumps, we'll put them all in this Mikey, who's the other lead investigator from Up in the Night. Like he always brings this big metal tub, and we put all these things in there, and we'll build the EMF in the room. We'll put a tarp over it, and then we'll take the tarp off. We'll blow a fan so it blows the EMF throughout the room. You could feel it in the room.
Yep.
We've had a couple interesting things happen when we've done everywhere. Like I said, we did it at Bel Air House once. We did it in the attic. After that, we even tried building a portal too. Like we had two mirrors across from each other. We had this device in the middle, and then we had like a black light in it too to see if we could see anything. Which nothing really came through the mirrors or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But the bed started shaking like after we did that and up in the attic. So that was kind of cool. And we also did it. We do a lot of stuff for the Masons in Johnstown. We've done a couple public investigations. I've done conferences there.
That's cool.
And yeah, for the one investigation, well, we've done that experiment more than once there, but the one time we did it in the museum, and just the whole room felt off, and it was probably the EMF part of it, and then it was so damn hot. But they were saying like a month later, like they could still feel the energy in that room, and it's just like, yeah, it's just a lot. Like I said,
Do
probably
you
not
record? Do you record your sessions?
Yeah, a lot of our stuff has been recorded. We have a YouTube page that has. It doesn't have the Johnstown footage on it, but it does. Like it has Bel Air on there, Trans Allegheny. I think there's Wildwood stuff. Like there's a bunch of different documentary things that we've filmed over the years.
Yeah, and then as a in your credits, it's a documentary creator. That's what you're. People can find stuff. It's just you investigating different places around the country.
Yeah, me and the group. Yeah.
Nice.
How many are in the group?
Well, currently, like I said, I've kind of taken a step back, so I haven't really been doing stuff. But there was it's varied over the years. I'd say there was 7 of us, I think, at one point, and then like me and my wife got a divorce, so that kind of messed a lot of stuff up. So we don't,
I get it.
because it was kind of like our thing. So that's why, like, it's
right.
I still do stuff with people, and I do stuff with Halloween Paranormal too, which actually that's the next thing I'm supposed to be doing is April 4th, whatever that Saturday is. We're going to Mortuary in Toledo, Ohio. But, but then, like I said, the last thing I think I did before that, well, I did the convention for Johnstown, and then we were at Torred Mine for a public event. Like we hosted a public event and sold tickets. But like I said, I've just between that whole situation and just work and everything, I haven't been doing a lot recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So life definitely changes things, dude. I was gun ho about I did the paranormal. I did talks. I did investigations whenever I could. My wife passed away in 2019, and people were like, "Oh, you still gonna do this?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I love this shit." But it definitely changed the energy level I had going into it for sure. And I've since I've gone back to school, and I'm in a master's program right now. God willing, I graduate in like a year. So I mean, that's really taken over. Life has chapters, and while the paranormal will always have a place in my heart, things just with me just change. With you, everything people go in different directions. But like I tell everybody, like if they miss an investigation, they're like, buddy, I can't make it tonight. Shit, I'm so bummed. Blah blah blah. I'm like, hey, dude, the ghosts are always going to be there. Whether it be like a year from now or 5 years or 100 years from now, I think the ghosts that energy is always going to be there. So there's no reason to like be bummed if you miss a night out on. I mean, yeah, it's a bummer, but I mean, they're always there. Do you believe, Sean, that locations and energy is affected by like weather patterns or the effects of the moon or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, definitely like thunderstorms and that. I mean, lightning and electrical activity and that I think will definitely amp something up.
Yep.
I guess it also probably depends on the location too. Like if there's something known that happened at that place that had something to do with the weather, I think that would help it out too.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. Do you feel like places where awful and violent things happen have a higher degree to be haunted rather than say your grandmother's house? Your thoughts on that?
I mean, especially if it's like a big institute, like say like Masville, the West Virginia State Penitentiary.
Oh,
you're cut out.
We don't hear you, Sean.
Yeah, like I said, can you hear me now? Okay. Yeah, like something like Monsville where they've had all kinds of deaths or something like, or even like Gettysburg, 20,000, 50,000 people, whatever I think it was. I definitely think that gives you a higher chance of something happening for sure.
Oh, for sure. I've gone to certain parts of the battlefield like Gettysburg, and it's kind of like hummed like Battle Hymn of the Republic or Dixieland, hoping for some kind of, because they don't let you really investigate the battlefield at night. Do you feel like there's a difference at night and in the daytime? Well, you can control the environment, obviously, but I mean, do you feel like there's a difference in spiritual activity in the daytime between the night?
I think that depends on the location too. Somewhere like Gettysburg, I think you could get activity during the day or night. I don't think it really matters. Some places, though, I think, I mean, it could just be the environment. I guess like it's just darker in general, and I guess it makes it maybe you get more paranoid. I don't know, but
Easy to hear disembodied voices or EVP for that matter.
Funny thing is, though, when we were in Gettysburg, the one time we actually got pulled over twice, like back
Oh
to
wow.
back, because we
Oh
were
boy.
like out on the not on the battlefield, but we were in our car. We were stopped on the side of the road. It was nighttime. You ain't supposed to stop in there. So the cop had us, made us leave. Nothing happened. But as soon as we left, we turned out, made like a right, and then my wife, like at the time, her headlight was burnt out. So then another cop pulled us over,
Oh,
like within
God.
5 minutes. Nothing happened with that either. But it's funny
Yeah.
we got twice back to back.
That's awesome. No, it's awesome that nothing happened. Honestly, more than anything, it's not awesome that you get pulled over and harassed twice, but yeah, whatever. It's a memorable experience, I'm sure. What are some of your most memorable experiences, Sean? Investigating the paranormal.
Well, like I said, the possession definitely is one of them.
Not necessarily scary, but most memorable.
Yeah. We had some poltergeist activity too at Loveland Castle before.
Really?
Yeah, like what Loveland Castle is. It's in Ohio, Loveland, Ohio. It's also like the Frogman supposed to be from Loveland, Ohio, stuff like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which the river or whatever is right at the bottom of Loveland Castle down there, like where the Frogman's supposed to be seen. But anyway,
is that like a cryptid? Is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, please go on.
Yeah, if you look up like Loveland and Frogman, I'm sure you can find
it.
But anyway, we were at that castle, and I was doing an Estes, and we were doing remote Estes, and like they were usually like we were using a baby monitor, and usually we'd have somebody like in a different building or like third floor, and I'd be on the first floor, stuff like that, because I would do stuff by myself, and they would ask questions. But in the castle, we just had them like 3 rooms over because like the walls and everything, the way it was built. But like I'm in between these 2 nights, and we had 3 different cameras on us. We had like the regular like Amazon camera. We had like an expensive camera, which our camera guy was using. And then we had the baby monitor. And Mikey was at the other end of the hall. And he's asking questions into the room, And one of the things he said was like, if something's in the room with Sean, can you move one of the cameras? And our camera guy is like, not the $1,000 camera,
Right.
But in the video, like you see me and like I hear something and I like look around, and the camera in front of me, which is the baby monitor one, like falls or whatever. And like it reacted like as soon as he happened, and they came like running down the hall, like freaking out, stuff like that.
Nice.
So that was a cool experience. Another thing we had happen, we were at Pickle Jar Antiques, which is in Rochester, PA, but actually it burned down. But
oh wow.
At the time, we have video of this, and like Paranormal Warehouse like put it on their website and everything.
Yep.
We were down in the basement, and well, I actually wasn't. I was in the building, but I wasn't in the basement. It was Mikey and Phil, and like 2 or 3, I think, of their employees that were there. And like I said, sometimes I look back on stuff. It's like I don't know these people. Maybe they did this themselves. But the lady, like, she got messed up. But in the video, like you see her like get like thrown back into this table, and she either like just intentionally hurt herself or something like pulled her into this table. So,
oh wow,
yeah, that was kind of creepy too. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think certain spirits have that kind of energy to move like a person? I've known a big guy out here, Don, up in the Boston area, and he hosts investigations up there on a ship, and he got pushed over in a chair, pushed backwards. He's a big guy. What do you think gives a spirit that kind of energy to move a person like that, or like throw a cell phone, or like with some they can barely get a feel. Like what do you think's the difference?
Could have a lot to do with probably their energy in general. Like, I mean, if you were like a, stronger in life or something like that, or maybe just tap into the environment in general,
Yep. Do you think it's like conserved, or do you think it's like some spirits just have more energy than others?
I think it's probably more spirit. Some spirits have more energy than others, I'd say.
Yeah. I mean, it's all mystery. It's all like conjecture at this point, but it's
like I said with the environment too. Like like they say, like limestone can like
right
the energy,
hold that energy in, and release it, or like thunderstorm, ionic during a thunderstorm, or any of the environmental factors I could go into. Running water is another one. And fuel paranormal energy. I'm not entirely sure how, but okay, that's one of the
whole
theories.
thing. I don't. Do you know anything about the Bel Air House? Have you ever heard about the Bel Air House?
I don't.
I've
I
heard
don't.
about it.
Because they claim that there's all kinds of things. Like one thing is the river does run down in front of it. They claim there was a mine explosion. There's Indian burial caves.
Oh boy.
It lies on a ley line, supposedly, like all kinds of different things that I guess make this. And a lot of it's probably BS, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But that's what they claim that makes this house so powerful, I guess. And there's like different portals in it and all kinds of stuff like that too. But I mean, like I said, I have been there a bunch of times. And I've had numerous things happen, so it definitely isn't complete bullshit. But I don't think all of it's true.
I mean, they're fun. They're fun words to talk about. They're portals and vortexes, and ley lines. But I mean, how much? I can't only put so much, credo into these places because I can't like physically see but like you say, you have these experiences in these places, there's something to it. It's not all BS, but I mean, like, I can't, I feel like people label or use these labels, use these words just to signify a greater haunt or something. I'm not sure how much, like I said, like I can put into it, but I don't know. For me, if a place is haunted, it's haunted. I don't know. I don't know that there's a vortex in the basement where spirits are just coming and going at will. But I don't know either. I couldn't say no because X, Y, and Z. It's all just like, sure, maybe we'll find out, I guess. But I don't know. I don't know where I stand on that. I don't know where I stand also, Sean, on shadow people. So I've seen shadow figures. I've seen them move. I've seen them walk. I've seen them strut right in front of me and disappear. I wouldn't necessarily say that it was a dark or negative entity. What are your thoughts on shadow figures?
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're negative. I'm trying to think of some of the times I've seen. One of the times I remember seeing Lake Shawnee, the old amusement park. I don't know if you know anything about that. It's in West Virginia. There's like an Indian burial ground, like on the actual property, and then there was an old amusement park where a couple people died and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. But we were up in the woods with a K2 meter, which there's no electricity up in these woods, obviously. Mm-hmm. And I was getting like stuff spiking red, just walking through the woods. And we were just following it, basically trying to see like where we were going. We saw shadow people in the woods up there, but it also took us to a tree. Like it spiked completely at this tree, which I don't know if the tree has any significance to anything, but like it was just weird that it was spiking red on this tree. But we also heard, and this could have just been wild animals, but we heard like coyotes or something, like dogs howling and growling and stuff like that coming through the woods too. So that was kind of creepy. But that's the only shadow people thing I could think off the top of my head that I remember seeing.
Right. I mean, they get such a negative connotation, or people slap a negative label on them, and even refer to it as like a separate entity. For me, I just think it's the way light's passing, or the way I'm perceiving it with my own eyes. Because when I used to see shadow figures, that's all I would see, and now I've seen more entities, like more people figures. I haven't seen so much shadows over the years. So in my own head, I think it is as my progression into seeing more paranormally, or more my third eye, I guess. But I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was either like a Native American spirit or maybe like an elemental or something. That's what my guess would have been.
There's always this like need to slap on everything negative in Hollywood, everything within the paranormal. It's a little bit. It gets a little bit old for me. I'm like, show me something that's going to support this. And obviously nobody ever can, obviously, because none of us really ever can.
Well, it seems like most people just care about views anymore and don't care about the actual evidence.
Yeah, let me put the D word on here. Let me put words on here that's going to draw attention to my post because I want more viewers, because that I don't know, whatever. Personally, I don't do this at all for any kind of money. If anything, I do it to, like the show here, I do it to promote other people and to explore. We had a guy on from Australia a couple of weeks ago. We had a lady on from the Netherlands. It's just cool to like, you're from Pennsylvania. God bless you. It's good to see like the way different people do things, the way different people view things that I view completely different. I don't know. It's just cool to talk about that and bring that to light to some degree. So I mean, that's the only reason I do it, just for shits and giggles, honestly, more than anything. For my own, I mean, it does help people to some degree investigating when you're like going into the house and you're saying, hey, This isn't like The Exorcist. They're not going to possess your young daughter. This is probably what this could be. Or this maybe his grandma coming to say hi. But I don't know. I'm not here to like. I work in psychology. I'm not. I make my money in that. I don't need to make people crazy in the paranormal. So that's just my shtick. Jai, you got any questions for our fine guest before we wrap up this evening, dear?
I just wanted to know where can our viewers get a hold of you if they needed an investigation or question.
I mean, we're on like pretty much all social media,
Mhm.
Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
Bump in the Night Society. That's a good place to start, I would say.
Now, I'm
Yeah.
probably, me personally, I'm probably on Facebook more, I'd say, than anything else.
Mhm.
But I check the other pages occasionally. So
Nice. Okay. So this week, you can see my face again on Thursday night as Three Dudes Brews. The last call we come on, we welcome Jen Pereira. Jen is the she's the associate director of the National Homebrewers Association. She's also the Rhode Island Homebrewers competition. We can talk homebrewing. We're going to talk beer, of course. We can talk making beer. We're going to talk about me drinking beer. And you're going to see me drinking beer live on the show. So tune in for that. Stay tuned also for Three Dudes Brews, our newest episode with Tragmar Brewing right here in Bristol, Rhode Island. We were going to edge it out before St. Patty's Day, but things get busy. Things get crazy, folks. So we didn't work it out, but we got 4 new episodes coming very soon. From Tragmar, from Shades on Brewing, from Nickel Creek Winery, which is absolutely phenomenal. Buddy drinking wine and having a good time. So tune in for all that great stuff, which you can see on my page. You can see on Three Dudes Brews. And next week here on The Ghost and the Goat, join us for we welcome author, paranormal investigator Brian Clune. He's going to join us and talk everything, ghosts and ghosty shit and all that good fun stuff. Just tune in for another ghosty talk with Buddy and Jai and another ghosty person. So for our lovely guest, Sean Bowman, for my co-host Jai, it's been Buddy there, the Ghost and the Goat. Stay beautiful, folks. Go Red Sox. Here we go with baseball. Good times.
Arts.
I'm sorry. Have a good week.
They got to be good eventually, right?
Right. Have a good week, folks.